blood magic. How does it work? What are the mechanics of blood magic? Let's break blood magic down. First, we must understand magnets, electromagnetic fields. Electromagnetism is when you have a circulation of electrons, a flow of electrons. When you have electrons flow from point A to point B, that's electricity. So if electrons start off here and they travel this way, that movement will generate an electromagnetic field. There's three parts. One, you need the metal, the magnetic metal. Two, the electricity. And three, you need a conduit in which the electricity can flow. If you have a nail, put it up against some paper clips, nothing happens. Wrap some copper wire around the nail, still nothing happens. Introduce a battery to that copper wire, and that nail will turn into a magnet. Why? Because you have the three parts. The battery provides the electricity, the copper provides the conduits, and the iron nail provides the magnetic metal. So the flow of electrons from the battery, right, flows through the copper wire. That movement of electrons creates the electromagnetic field, creates the magnet. Now that we know how a magnet works, let's look at the human body. At the center, at the heart, is where our largest electromagnetic field is generated. Scientifically proven, we have the electromagnetic field. Why? No one ever tells you why that happens, why that's the case. I will tell you why. Blood magic. What's at the center of every single red blood cell? Iron, which just so happens to be one of the most unique metals on the planet for electromagnetism. Not only do you have an extremely magnetic element at the center of every blood cell, but that blood that's in your body is circulating. Because we have circulation, we have a current. Remember, an electromagnetic field is produced when you have a flow of electrons, a current, movement. The metal, you need the conduit to transport the electricity, and you need the electricity. The human body, the nail, the iron, is the iron in blood. The conduit is the nervous system. Electrical impulses are being fired 24/7 in your body. Electricity. Your body's generating its own electricity from the food you eat, the thoughts you have, the actions you do. This is all electrical impulses, right? So you have your electricity, you have the iron in your blood, that's the metal, and then you have the circulation by the heart, which pumps the blood, flows through your body. That's the current, which drives your electromagnetic field. Does that make sense? What happens with the human body is we have this electromagnetic field that carries information. The Journal of Theoretics says about humans and their electromagnetic fields. The electric charges coursing through the human brain are measurable by means of an electrocephalogram. Humans thus have an electromagnetic field. As a result, the human body could act as an aerial that has a potential for simultaneous transmission and reception of energy with its environment. There is now evidence that a subtle yet influential electromagnetic communication system operates just below our conscious awareness. Energetic interactions possibly contribute to the magnetic attractions or repulsions that occur between individuals and also affect social relationships. It was found that a person's brainwaves can synchronize to another person's heart. So we have our own electromagnetic fields, and it's generated by the blood. That's where blood magic goes. I'll make other videos on the implications of information that's carried inside your electromagnetic field, but that's a different topic. For now, we'll keep it on point, which is, how does blood magic work? Why is blood such a powerful tool in manifesting? It's so powerful because as far as the physical world is concerned, blood is the rawest, purest form of physical electromagnetism. It contains everything. Your blood system contains everything. It contains the conduit, it contains the metal, and it contains the electricity, because humans generate our own electricity. Our blood vessels, our nervous system are the conduits in which the electricity can flow, and then the iron at the center of every blood cell provides the metal. We are literally living magnets producing electromagnetic fields on a biological level. So when you take the blood that's laced with electromagnetism, put it on something, on part of your ritual magic, and we increase the electromagnetic field of that thing via law of correspondence. That's why I personally think blood magic is so powerful. Now, some people can say it's dark, it's this and that, it's binding. Nothing is perpetually binding because nothing is perpetual. There's nothing on this planet lasts forever, right? Nothing. The only constant in existence, period, is change. Change is the only constant. So when you hear people saying blood magic is binding, not really. Nothing is. Give me one example of one thing that never changes. I'll wait. Nothing. So, when it comes to ritual magic, of course, some things are better than others. It's just the nature of things. You have higher, you have lower. It's just balance. It's just the balance of things. The key is, how can we strengthen our electromagnetic field? Back to the law of correspondence. Well, science tells me how magnets work. Magnets work from the three things: the metal, the electricity, and the conduit for that electricity to flow. Get that electricity flowing, you generate an electromagnetic field. How, Keith, then, do we make the human electromagnetic field stronger? If the human electromagnetic field works just like other electromagnetic fields, all we have to do is increase the amount of energy that we are putting into a device. The stronger battery you hook up to a magnet, the stronger the magnet will be. The magnets that pick up cars, pick up thousands of pounds, have thousands and thousands of watts being pumped into them. The voltage is incredible. And what that does is it strengthens the electromagnetic field. Get better magnetic properties, get better metals, get a better conduit system, and increase the energy input, and you will have a stronger battery. How does that correspond to the human body? How does the human body raise frequency? So when you think of diet, you think of meditation, you think of hanging around certain people and the way you feel after you're done hanging out with them. Having certain experiences and how those experiences make you feel high on life. They make you feel rejuvenated. They make you feel youthful. The reason why is because we are raising our frequency, not just raise your frequency. And what that means is we're forcing as much physical energy as we can into our bodies so that our human electromagnetic field is strengthened. Foods. What foods have higher vibrations? Foods that are still living. The reason why plants have more energy than meat is because meat dies, and as soon as something dies, it starts to lose energy and it gets returned to the earth. Well, a plant, as long as the leaf is green, is still undergoing photosynthesis, which is its energy maker, until you eat it. So a plant leaf is literally alive until you put it in your mouth and it breaks down in your stomach. So the energy that's being captured by the sun is being condensed into your body at the highest rate. Again, if you eat a piece of meat, it's been dead for at least a few days, if not longer than that. And you get a lower vibrational frequency. So think about meditation. When they tell you to focus on cosmic energy flowing through your crown. Again, cosmic energy funneling into your body raises your frequency, literally increasing your electromagnetic field, because that's how a battery works. You put more energy into the battery becomes stronger, the electromagnetic field becomes stronger. So in other words, the higher vibrational foods and conversations and encounters and people you surround yourself with, all these things stretch your electromagnetic field out into the world. Now, what happens with blood magic is the same thing. It allows your electromagnetic field to go further out into the world. And if I may, I will add this and tie it into the law of attraction, which is far too talked about and very never spoken on in detail how does it exactly work. We do not attract things into our lives, you guys. I'm sorry, it's not how it works. It's not the law of attraction, it's the law of vibration. Look it up. Read my book, or look up the Hermetic philosophy. Study Hermetics of the mind, and you will see that it's not about attracting things. It's about vibrating things and matching the frequency. What happens is there's something, again, called resonance. Now, beautiful thing, again, about this philosophy is that there's something else called law of correspondence, like I did with corresponding the battery magnet to the human magnet. We can learn how they both work by learning how the other works, because there's things contained in everything. As above, so below. Everything contains within it pieces of everything else. That's how we learn. Take the law of vibration. In music, there's something called resonance. If I play the E string of a violin, it will vibrate, create a frequency. That vibration is a measurable frequency. Now, if there's another violin in my room, the vibrations of that E string will actually, literally, physically vibrate the string on the neighboring object. That's what resonance is. Resonance is when you play something, is when a frequency resonates with a neighboring object, and they'll both start to vibrate back with each other. They resonate with each other, right? That's what you say, oh, it really resonates with me. It moves you because it matches your frequency. That's how the law of vibration works. It doesn't bring things into your life. What it does is it stimulates your world according to the new frequency that you've broadcasted out into the world. So you start to notice things that you didn't notice before. Not because they were brought into your life. These things have always been there. Your level of perception has changed. It hasn't grown, it hasn't diminished, it's just changed. Like a radio, all the waves are happening simultaneously. You change your tuner to a different frequency. Okay, now you're resonating with the new frequency, picking up information from that realm. Does that make sense? So don't think in terms of, oh, I just hold a thought and it shows up into my life. Not really. Or it doesn't come to you. Don't think it in terms of something coming to you. Think of it more in terms of you're stimulating the external world with a new frequency. And also, the external world is now stimulating you according to your new frequency, because the external acts on the internal acts on the external. Blood magic, again, before I digress too much, is a stimulation of the world using the most potent physical blood magic is stimulating the external world using the most powerful physical counterpart for electromagnetism, which is the human blood. So the human blood acts as an amplifier for your signal. You wanted to sweeten your soda, you would add sugar to it. You want to amplify the sweetness, you take something really sweet like pure sugar and you dump it into a mixture and it makes it twice as sweet. Same thing, you want to increase your electromagnetic influence on something, you take a very densely concentrated electromagnetic item like your blood and add it to that to amplify the wattage of whatever you're trying to cast. That is why I believe blood magic has been in history throughout time. It's why they say blood is life force, right? Because what is life but not the generation of electromagnetic fields? I mean, humans have them. The planet Earth, for crying out loud, has an electromagnetic field. How wild is that? Anything that is electric has an electromagnetic field because of the flow of electrons. What I like to do is I use this law of correspondence from the Hermetic philosophy, and I think, okay, now this is where I use my imagination. This is why people like Einstein say imagination is key. Tesla says imagination is key. Think of frequencies. Use your mind, create in your mind first, because we take what we know and we apply it to the unknown. So we know exactly how magnets work. And then we find out, gee, humans have electromagnetic fields too. So if we can increase the power of a regular magnet, the same principles apply to increasing the human magnet. So you think of things like menstrual blood. Okay, well, and they say menstrual blood is stronger than any other kind of blood for creating. Why would that be? Why would that be? Well, that's simple. Menstrual blood comes from the womb of a woman, which is the creating area. The womb is where life is born, right? That's where it brews and it comes to formation, and it develops and it grows, and then it comes out from the womb. So it would make perfect sense that menstrual blood would be that much more powerful in manifesting, because it itself is sole purpose is manifesting. Whereas, you cut yourself on the arm and it's blood that could be going to your brain, it could be going to your heart, it could be going to your hands and elbows and shit, you know what I mean? But it's not specified. Menstrual blood is specified in an area that is strictly for creating, manifesting in the physical sense, right? Because it gives birth to physical humans. So if you want a physical something to happen, makes sense. There's a lot of rabbit holes, but use them. My suggestion to you guys as a takeaway from this is, how else can you apply laws? It's what I love about science. The thing I love most about science is it breaks down magical things. Unknowingly, it breaks down magical things and says, well, it's not that magical. It's just science. It's practical. Like magnets were magical at one point, and they said, not really. There's something called an electromagnetic field, and you have electricity, and you have a metal, and you have a conduit, and then it's a magnet. It's science. It is. All magic is science at some point when they figure out how it works. Now we can start applying it to other things in our life. Attract certain things, understand the principles behind it, understand the properties behind it, so that, if you want to make magical tinctures out of plants, or if you want to make blood rituals, or if you want to make music, think in terms of frequency. How can I use frequencies to stimulate myself and the external world to match something that I want to create? So that I can not attract into my life, but I can stimulate. Think more in terms of, how can I stimulate the world? How can I evoke the world? Bring to life, wake up the things around me. Not bring them to me, but just stimulate them, vibrate them, wake them up, so that I can see them better. I see the synchronicities, I see the serendipitous events, and these things are coming from a matching of frequencies. They're coming from a resonance, not from an